There's nothing quite like the magic of theatre. An often heard, if rather vacuous, statement that gets mixed reactions.
Joy that can only be experienced from live performance.
Meaningless, undefinable piece of nonsense.
Words that divide opinion so strongly are best avoided when it comes to writing reviews, which generally is not too difficult as long as you have a good thesaurus to hand. But then you see a production like The Ocean at the End of the Lane, and you're surprised. And you're screwed. There can be no doubt that The Ocean, as we're going to call it now, is an extraordinary piece of theatre. Its mere presence should light up the West End. In short, the experience is well, how about this? It is inexplicable and remarkable. It has an entertaining, mystical quality, glamour and appeal. The production is an inspired accomplishment, created with exceptional skill and talent. These words are provided by the Oxford English Dictionary. You will find them under the very definition of magic. I missed The Ocean when it premiered at the MT's Cosy Dorfman stage back in December 2019. Nonetheless, I doubt I was the only National Theatre goer to mentally file it with the other, ostensibly for kids but really for parents, shows that the National does so very well at Christmas. Taking its place with the flying Peter Pan and the puppet people of Pinocchio, The Ocean would undoubtedly be delightful. It would also be firmly fixed to both time and venue. Missing it was a shame, as is with any show you miss.
I didn't feel the same sort of loss anxiety I would have done if it had been a Gaiman trilogy or a Network or a Seven Streams.
Members of the very small club for National Theatre productions that awarded 5 stars. I saw seasonally biased festive cheer shining in the many stars it was awarded. I put the sellout run down to some well-placed words by some well-heeled and respected mummies at the Kensington Park school gates. Even the West End transfer, when it was announced, if you looked at it in context of the same journey that was taken by David Eldridge's highly overrated, self-indulgent wankfest for the woke beginning, well, there was no guarantee of quality. My 2019 self clearly knew nothing. The Ocean at the End of the Lane is bigger than Christmas, and the attendance of children... The production is an adaptation of a 2013 short novel written by Neli Gaiman. Gaiman isn't, as I had first thought, the lead singer of the Divine Comedy, but a writer famed for his numerous comics and graphic novels. If your CV doesn't list attending Comic-Con under hobbies and interests, you'd most likely know Gaiman from the previous adaptations of his work, films like Coraline, Stardust, TV like American Gods, and with the late Terry Pratchett, Good Omens. Gaiman is a creator of other worlds. He creates their supervillains, their superheroes. He wages wars, and he saves universes. The other world Gaiman has created here seems at first much smaller than his usual fare. Seen through the eyes of a child, it is the universe around you. Your family, your nearest and dearest, your friends, your home. That the events that take place seem so large, so extraordinary, so huge, so life and death, are because, well, they are, aren't they? Gaiman wrote The Ocean at the End of the Lane to introduce his wife to his boy self. So the story does take inspiration from real places, real people, real events of his childhood. But this is not in any way an autobiography, either literally or with elements added for dramatic purposes. If an autobiography consists of the events we remember, what Gaiman has written has been formed by the very act of remembering itself. He is himself as a boy, a ball of anxiety, deftly controlled in an often joyous, often very moving performance by James Bamford. At his first meeting with Letty Hempstock, an enthralling Nia Towle in her West End debut. Her mother and her grandmother, so old she remembers when the moon was made, have lived for thousands of years in their farm that sits on the edges of our world and the worlds that sit outside, to keep us safe from the hordes of evil creatures or fleas that want to invade us. When one of these fleas finally breaks through by creating a wormhole in his heart and appearing as a worm, it is up to the boy and the girl to save the universe. The children fight monsters the size of this entire stage. They outsmart villains, multiply in front of their eyes. They use old toys, multiply in front of their eyes. They use old toys as traps to trap killer birds. They escape from inescapable prisons. They snip and snitch memories out of time. They swim through magical oceans. They climb unscalable mountains, and they confront adult emotions for the first time. And you will believe every single moment of this as you see it happening for real on stage before you. Staging brings the magic ideas of memory to life with endless theatrical magic that is pure joy. Imagination that is too great to be contained spills from the stage out into the audience. It is in front of us, it is behind us, it is above us, it is all around us. It becomes part of us, and we become part of it. The production team includes Jamie Harrison and John Boulade, who have the sort of job titles most children would die for. Respectively, they are the Magic and Illusions director and designer and his associate. So there is clearly real magic at work here too. Put aside questions of whether or not that is an oxymoron, now really isn't the time. Quality of the theatrical magic on display here is equal to that of another smallish show John and Jamie worked on. Looking at the production team a bit more widely, we see an absolute hotbed of talent. Movement director, lighting consultant and sound designer also came from The Cursed Child. Puppetry director shared with Warhorse. Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, which is probably the easiest comparison to make with any show around right now, provided 6 of the creative team, including the director Katie Rudd. When a production team consists of so much talent, you may expect the result to be a good show. But this isn't a good show. It is so much better than that. There is no neatly knowing conclusion here. No nodding wink at the end of it to the adults to acknowledge it has all been just a dream. After all, aren't our remembered feelings just as real as our remembered actions? Nonetheless, I feel I must conclude with less room for doubt. I need to make it clear that whether you see one piece of theatre in London a month, one a year, or one in your entire lifetime, there is only one piece of theatre in London right now that you should choose. The ocean at the end of the lane is not just another piece of theatre. The ocean at the end of the lane is theatre.